डॉक्टर बनने वाला हूँ। भगवान जाने कहाँ से यूट्यूब वीडियोस का शौक पाल लिया मैंने। I am disappointed to be a doctor. Now, this video is in no way shaming the profession or shaming the good work that we do as doctors. And I know I keep telling this in all my videos, but this video is not a way to demotivate you from your NEET UG or PG preparations. This video is about a real life story that happened with me and something that I'm not very proud of. And that is what I'm going to share with you guys. But before we get into the story, let me give you a brief about what I am and where I'm coming from. So I am Dr. Raj. I finished my 4.5 years of MBBS and I'm currently pursuing my internship at Gandhi Medical College. Currently I'm 24 years old and I'm going to be 25 this year, which is 2023. Peeche se there is an ambulance passing by as we speak. The whole world is like going into chaos. Now, I'm not from a very well-to-do family. I probably belong to the middle class and I'm very grateful of all the opportunities that have been passed down to me by my parents. I've done my MBBS from a government medical college, and as you know, in a government medical college, not a lot of fees is taken. I've been very grateful to have passed NEET UG with a very good score, but not everyone is grateful in that way and not everyone gets amazing results, and there are certain financial constraints that come upon them. The story that I'm going to tell you is about an encounter that I had with my father, and it's not a very highly flashy story or anything. It's just something that I'm not proud of doing when I'm like 24 years of age already. Let me tell you more about the economic aspects of being a doctor. As I told you, in a government medical setup requires like next to no fees. If you have heard about the AIMS stories, AIMS usually charges 5,000 for 5.5 years, which is like very less, and the economic burden is very less on people who go to AIMS and people who go to government medical setups. But the finances does not take into account the mental and physical strain that doctors go through. So 4.5 years of complete mental challenges when it comes to reading more and acing your exams, huge vast syllabus of 19 subjects. Keeping that aside, after you graduate, after 4.5 years, you generally go into an internship. So in your internship, you have to work your ass off. So मतलब कभी-कभी you have to do night duty, complete 36-hour duties and stuff like that, and it's very challenging. मतलब कोई बताता नहीं है before in your 4.5 years कि मतलब इतना challenging हो सकता है. So it's not just a mental game; it's also much more of a physical game. Let's start with interns, because let's talk about how interns are paid. Interns are paid very low for the amount of work that they do. Even postgraduates, in fact, are paid very low. Let me tell you how much interns and postgraduates make on an average. I am from the government institute, which is at the top of the state. वो लोग ज़्यादा पैसे देते हैं to government college students, or the state government colleges usually pay you upwards of 20,000 rupees per month. This is not the complete story of all medical colleges. Different medical colleges pay differently to their students, but government wale usually pay above 20,000, and I think AIMS also pays around 25,000 to their interns. If I had to put it into perspective of how much of money you're earning per hour, it would be around 60 to 70 rupees. Now, after you're done with your internship, of course, you would have to appear for NEET PG. And even in your PG, I've seen postgraduates, especially first year postgraduates, work their ass off again. They work, in fact, more than the interns in some cases, and they usually make, in our college, in our government institute, around 50,000 to 60,000 rupees. And they have to put in even more work hours than the average intern. So technically speaking, they're making less than around 200 rupees an hour, or like 100, 200 rupees an hour. Now, of course, as you get older and older, once you're 30 years, 35 years, you get into your own practice and you start making some money. Now, coming to the story and the encounter that I was talking to you guys about. Now, this happened between me and my father. The issue usually arises when I have to ask him for more money. Usually, even now, when I'm like 24 years old, he pays me a monthly pocket money, and it is not something I proudly accept, because I am 24 years old. Now, people around me, my friends who are from other career backgrounds, they've already started to see financial growth in their career. So coming to the first aspect of the guilt and the shame that is associated with accepting money from your old father who is still working for a middle class boy to achieve his dreams, that itself reveals a very shameful aspect of how much the system actually cares about their young doctors. Now, my father has been very supportive about everything that I do, and currently I'm preparing for the US Embassies to travel to the US and work there. And that also, in fact, requires a large amount of money in terms of test taking, electives and all of that. But the emotional turmoil of a male individual in the family, especially, I don't mean to be misogynistic or anything, sole male member of the family has to be supporting the family, and at the age of 24, 25, I think he or she, in fact, should be independent, but the system does not provide for that. I have to repeatedly ask my father for more and more money, for more and more needs, for more and more wants as I'm growing, and I am shameful of that situation. My father is 66 years old and he's still working to provide for our dreams. At this point, I want to do nothing but step up for the family and start providing. But the government pays such less amount of money and allocates such less amount of the GDP to the healthcare system. It's quite shameful. It's literally peanuts. Also comes the security issue that doctors are facing on a daily basis, where patients are beating them up and stuff like that. As a young individual who's starting to set up on my career, I expect more, and I expect them when I'm young. And I'm sure this is just not me. There must be hundreds of people out there who are facing the same struggles. Coming to the conclusion of this video, I think the government can do better and allocate more funds to the healthcare system and to the young doctors who are struggling every day to support their families, to support their parents, and have a better future and have a better career prospect. I leave you guys with a question. Why are you pursuing this profession for? Is it just for money? Is it for respect? What are you wishing to achieve from this? And what are your future career prospects? What do you actually want to be? Because when you're young, you barely think about all these things and the consequences that it will have later in the future, but you jump at the prospect of trying something new. So consider these things, whether you're young or whether you're planning for NEET PG. What are your actual priorities?